Hi everybody, I'm Stitch Kitten, and we are doing the last piece of this puzzle. I am so happy to be done with this project. I talked a lot last time about how bigger projects are really usually not my thing, and that honestly set in motion me being very burnt out on this. So I've set myself up for success with this last final piece, um, because we are gonna be drawing Nimona, and I really love Nimona as a character, so hopefully that won't be too terrible. Where did I put my pen? Just that. There it is. So, hopefully we can avoid burnout for one more day, and then this lovely little project will be done. We've been working on this since July. July is when I started this. So, this has been quite the project. It has been a lot of effort and a lot of work, so, I'm really glad to have it be done and have it all have come out so nice. I really like the way all our characters are looking together. And today, for the Color Wheel Challenge, since our prompt so far has been women in media and television that are villains in name only, today, the way that we're gonna cheat on that is that we are gonna do a femme presenting person, or a person with a femme persona, and not necessarily like a woman, because Nimona is a character that makes a point of not being specifically gendered, as they are a shapeshifter, right? They don't have a specific form that they feel comfortable in all the time. And they do go back quite a few times to like a human girl style character, and that's what we're gonna draw on our chart just because it'll fit with our female characters. But technically, Nimona is not a female character, so that's how we're cheating this week. All of our pieces have had a little bit of a cheat on our original prompt, so that's okay, I think. But Nimona is such a good character. The movie is about her and about how people perceive her as like a villain because of all of this really cool shit that she can do, even though she really hasn't used it to do anything negative at the point where people start ostracizing her. She's just not the same as everything, right? And that's kind of the whole point of the movie, is that people, animals, like things in nature, everything is always a little bit wary of new stuff, right? Like, no matter what you are, like, nature and evolution has taught us to be a little bit wary of change and a little bit wary of stuff that we don't know anything about. So, like, that is just kind of natural to us, but it doesn't necessarily make it, like, right or, like, good in every single case, because we all are also just like people with, you know, imperfect little brains and biases and stuff. So I think that that's a really good point that the movie makes, is that just because like something comes naturally to us doesn't mean that like we whole big evolved human people have to, you know, listen to all of that. I think that that's really cool that they do. And I think I actually want to start over on this sketch, because I think I want to put Nimona a little bit higher up in the bubble, just so I have more of this pink in her background. Well, alright. The other thing is that Nimona has a very, despite having like a femme style character for her human persona, is kind of like boxy looking and like straight, like flat on the sides of the cartoon. So I want to make sure that I don't, because I just kind of naturally draw very curvy women because I am very gay and I like curves. But also I need to keep her kind of flat, like Candace. I should use Candace as a reference point for this. Just I gotta remember shoulders and lines, you know, because she does have a lot more angles than the other women that I've drawn. Because again, she's not. I keep saying she, but it's a shapeshifter creature thing. Like it's not a woman. I'm just saying she for the femme persona. But yeah, I really like Nimona as a character, and the movie was really good. Spoilers for people that haven't seen it, but it was a really good movie. I liked it a lot. Something is happening with my layers. Hold on, let me fix this. And then we'll talk some more. I don't know what's happening, but for some reason it is not letting me draw on my group anymore. So maybe we're gonna make a new group and not deal with that. Okay. Is that gonna work? Okay. Technical crisis averted. Okay, so, yeah, so Nimona, I think, is a really good character for this because, throughout the movie, they make a point of talking about how, there's this big evil monster villain that, has been banished, from the land, and we find out later that it actually is Nimona, and she wasn't like vanquished and killed. She just kind of slunk off into the forest not to bother anybody. Because she really doesn't want to bother anybody. She just wants to exist like everybody else. And she just happens to be a shape-shifting creature instead of a person. And I think that is a really cool message because it has a lot of versatile meaning just for people to learn that, you know, just because stuff's not exactly like you expect or like you want it to be, it's not like immediately terrible and bad and we shouldn't exile it, etc. And I think that is, you know, something that some more people could stand to learn. I also really liked Nimona as a movie because they have some really great, like, oh gosh, I can't remember what the word is when you have more than one main character, but Nimona is like one of, I guess, kind of like 3 main characters. There's kind of 3 because there's 3 like main viewpoints for the story. So there's like Nimona, and then there's also both viewpoints of a pair of gay knights that are like the head of like the Queen's Guard or whatever. It's I don't remember what it's actually called, the kingdom. I was gonna rewatch the movie, but it was It was like 2 hours long, and I did not budget enough time for me to do that. That was it. I'm bad at time management, guys. Unfortunately, I just didn't do it. So, if somebody wants to Google that and put it in the chat or something, I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. But it was really cool. And they are part of whatever this guard is called. And, the, like, golden boy of the Queen's Guard is, the partner of this, like, rags to riches knight that's kind of like, he's like the first, like, non-royal knight or something, like non-lineage knight, and they have kind of like this, almost like this caricature of like dichotic good and evil, right? Like, it's like the golden boy kid is always dressed in like these big white gold like knight shining armor stuff, and the rags to riches knight has some like very basic just like kettlebell armor looking stuff, and I want Nimona to be doing something interesting, but I'm talking too much, and now I've just drawn her standing here. You know what? She does this kind of pose, in a couple of shots of the movie where she puts her hands up in front of her in like the little rock signs and she says metal. So I think I'm gonna do that. Because that seems like a fun pose. And very unique amongst the poses we have so far, so. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, gay nights. Yeah, they have gay nights. Gay nights are great. And the movie was really fun to watch. I think it had a lot of great messages. I don't want to tell everybody too many plot points just because, like, I want there to still be a reason for you guys to go watch it. It was so good. But honestly, I think I'm not all that great at reviewing and explaining movies, so probably I could explain and tell you guys the whole plot and you would still want to go see it because I I probably didn't do like a really good job of explaining things in a way that feels like a movie. I think I probably talk a lot like I write. Like, some people write like they talk. I think I'm probably the other way around. And I just end up saying really long-winded sentences because they sound correct instead of just, like, saying things that I mean. So I think I could probably explain literally the entire movie, and you guys would just get bored. Hi! We are doing our last piece today, finally. And I'm realizing I never turned my computer backlight on, so. Yeah, I know, it's been so long. Here, let me go fix my lights real quick. Alright. I have a huge lamp behind me and also a window, so if I if I leave just one of them on, I've got like kind of a nice glow. If I leave both of them on, I look like I'm burning. Oh, thank you. Cool. Here, let me, now that I've got all of that fixed, let me, oh, that was a subscribe thing. I need to take those out. I don't know why those are turned on for this. It's nice, but you know, probably, probably it will get annoying, for people that are here on Twitch and not on YouTube. Anyway, and I think I can see it even if I turn the little notification thing off. Anyway, I'll have to remember to do that later. Nimona also has like really great teeth, like shark teeth that she wears even in her human form, so I want to put a big old shark grin on her face with the metal sign, you know. It'll be great. It's gonna come out great, I think. We're drawing Nimona from the movie Nimona. I really liked that movie, and I think that it was a really great example for our prompt. I really like all the representation throughout the movie, and I think that like Nimona as a character was a lot of fun to watch. So we're cheating a little bit because it's not a woman. it's a shapeshifter creature thing that just has a femme human persona. But other than that, they fit the prompt, and we're gonna draw the femme human persona so it looks like they fit the prompt. But yeah, I really liked Nimona. I think there was a lot of really cool, not only like information, but just like ideas in the movie that were presented in a really basic way for people to understand. Like one of the things that happens throughout the movie is one of the knights that is like the other main character, and excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink of my coffee. But one of the knights that is the other main character keeps asking Nimona, why don't you just like be a girl? And they go, because I'm not a girl, I'm Nimona. And I think that that's great. I think that that's, I mean, it's a really basic and simple way of expressing it, but I think that for some people, like, that's really necessary, and a really good example of, you know, that kind of portrayal. Yeah, it was a really fun movie. I think people can watch it on Netflix. I think that's where it's at. And would highly recommend. It's kind of long. You do gotta block out some time to sit down and watch it, but I barely noticed that I did that after I had set aside the time to do so. It was a really fun movie to watch. And I have made her eyes very lopsided, so I'm gonna just pretend that I didn't do that, and we'll fix it later. And she's got a really great outfit. I'm probably gonna keep saying she just because of the femme persona, so apologies to anybody that offends. I don't mean to be rude. And I think Nimona uses she when she's in the femme persona anyway, so I don't remember though. Thanks. I'm trying to pull up a good reference shot of her outfit so that I can see all the little details, because she's got some cute little metal bits and little buttons and stuff on her shirt, so I want to make sure that I get all of that. Oh, that should be a good one. She's got, like, a big metal collar with some round, like, almost like pucks on them. They don't seem to be spikes or anything, just like circles, flat discs. And then she's got, like, some little armored shoulder pads. And we've got some cross-stitching down the front of the shirt, and I think that's it besides just it being red. And she's also got like some hand wraps. So we'll have to draw. Actually, is she wearing the hand wraps all the time? Maybe if she's not, I'll cheat and I'll take them off. Nah, it does look like she's wearing them all the time. Okay. So she's got... Do they come up over her fingers? No, it's just like across her palm here. And then across the back of her hand. And it comes down. Okay. And it looks like she's got the same wrap on both hands, so. Oh. I am a silly goober. I put my thumbs on the wrong side. Yes, I did. I did put her thumbs on the wrong side. Okay, well, at least that's not a terrible fix. I could have put... No, that's pretty much... Yeah, I put her thumbs on the wrong side. Anyway, it's fine. fixed it now. And I'm trying to think what else I want to make sure I get in the sketch here. I guess she's got some little spikes on her ears. Just like jewelry spikes. So maybe I should make sure I get those in. Other than that, I mean, I feel like a lot of our effort in this one is gonna go towards the painting. Just because this is another computer animated one, I think. Almost certain that this one is computer animated. So there aren't really like edges and things for me to draw. More just like colors for me to paint later. And I think that is probably fine for details that I need, though. And I'll try to fix her eyes this time so that they don't look quite so lopsided. There we go, that looks much better. And she's got some big old thick eyebrows. And she's got some kind of shaggy hair, but I've drawn it pretty clean line here, so I'm gonna add some little dips and stuff. It's been alright. My sleep schedule has been kind of weird, so I didn't get up all that long before I started doing this. But this has been alright. I've got my coffee. What about you? What have you guys been up to? Yeah. Sleep. is real tricky some reason. I don't know, my circadian rhythms must just be like absolute crap or something. I'm so bad at time and schedules and stuff, so that would make sense. But I just I don't sleep well most of the time. Yeah, that'll do it. That's a lot of effort, and sometimes there are not enough hours in the day. I think I've got all the major details. I'm trying to see if I can pick out anything I missed while I drink some coffee here for a second. But I think all of the things in her outfit I've got. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. Well, it's okay. I'm sure if I am missing something, I'll figure it out later. And just got a little pouch and some straps. Across her waist here. Oh, excuse me, I'm gonna stretch. I think this is coming along pretty okay though. I am so glad I get to do such a fun character for this last piece, because I definitely talked way too much last time about how this is my longest project and I've been working on it for so long, and now I'm so ready to be done. So I am very glad I picked such a fun character for the end here, so that it doesn't have to be totally terrible.
It's been a long time since we have parted ways. It's like I've lived through all these years still waiting. Well, now here we are. Isn't it funny how we swore before that it would be the last time? Even then, it's strange. My feelings haven't changed. It's been so long, I don't recall how we ended up like this.
that is all of the things. Okay, I think I really do have everything. Even though I still really feel like I'm forgetting something. I think it's my brain just playing a cruel joke on me sitting here. I think I do have all the details though. I have I have checked her over a couple of times. She looks fine. I think. I think. Okay. Um.
It's been a long time, that makes it perfect, cause we won't be dwelling on the things that went wrong. People are bound to
Yeah,
change,
I think
and if
that's
we're meant
all
to
the
be,
things. So I think I am gonna start doing the line art.
so long I don't recall how we ended up like this. But I don't think it matters when there's
And this will be the point where I will have to go turn the background down so that it doesn't interfere with all my pretty little lines. Background. Background down. Ah, that's so cool. It's so cool. There's so many characters. It's almost done. Ah, it's so much effort though. I have worked on this since July. That's crazy. I'm sure talking about how I'm burnt out on it more is not gonna make me less burnt out, but let's do it anyway. Uh, I have been working on this for so long now. It will be so cool to see how it all comes together. And also very cool to be done. And I'm gonna zoom in and do the face here. A little bit closer up just because I really don't... I also gonna turn the lines down just because, again, this is like a computer animated cartoon, so it doesn't have so many hard edges that I can just like mimic. I'm trying just to keep some light little lines for the drawing. So I want to make sure that I don't go too heavy on anything in particular. She's also, again, like I said before, got this really great, like, shark tooth smile, so I want to leave some big, wide cheeks on her face for that. So there's plenty of room on her face for all of those teeth. And big old smile. And she does have some really thin lipstick or something on that's more pink, so I'm gonna make the bottom and the top of her lip just a little bit fuller. I don't think I care all that much about actually coloring them, so I'm just gonna do that with the line work. Okay, and I think I made her cheeks just a little bit too pointed. Like, I think I gave her cheekbones a little too much definition there, so I'm gonna just round that out a little bit. Just make it kind of more like a bubble. There. Because she doesn't have real, like, pointed cheeks or anything. She just has a really wide grin. So I want to make sure I didn't mess that up and make her face look too sharp. I think I also made her chin a little bit too pointed, so maybe I'll soften that a little too. And she's got a little bit of eye makeup, but not real heavy or anything. So I want to give her some little eyelashes. And some little bottom lashes. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And hope that I can get them to look sort of even. That is always the part that I have the most trouble with doing, even just like my own makeup in real life, is just like making everything symmetrical. I personally consider myself a creature of chaos, and I'm not good with symmetry. Everything, if I try to make stuff even, it usually just comes out looking less even. Which, you know, for stuff like eyes and makeup and crap and drawing, is a sticking point a bit for me, unfortunately. But I have practiced a lot to get to the mediocre spot that I'm at, so, you know? Improvement. And
Afternoon, Tiger.
I think probably I'm gonna give her like the orange glint eyes, because even in the ones where her eyes are pink, they're not really that pink. Like, the iris is really small. The pupil takes up most of the space anyway. So I think I'm gonna just give her the, like, orange glinty villain eyes that she does a lot of the time when she's doing the metal pose anyway. And I think that's gonna make her look more villainous for our little color wheel of villains. And she does have pretty thick eyebrows, but they're also like a really nice shape, so I will have to be kind of careful with those, not to make them look too flat. a lot of the time when I draw thicker eyebrows, I want to make them look really straight and really flat across the forehead. But she has like thicker eyebrows that are still very shaped and round. And now I've made them a bit uneven, so we're gonna try again. That's close enough. I'm gonna redo that, though. I said close enough, and then I decided it wasn't, so we're gonna redo it. Much better. And she's got kind of like also like the little like internet makeup trend sunburn blushies, like her cheek and her nose are very red, but I don't want to put any lines or anything in for that. So I think I'll just do that with the painting. She does have some freckles though, which I probably will add in now. Just as like some little spatter on her face. She's got it. Oh, I'm gonna turn the line way down for this, true. She's just got some little freckles on her cheeks and on her nose where she's got her little sun marks. And I'm gonna turn the line back up and draw her hair. And then we'll zoom back out properly. And again, I did like a really clean little sectioned sketch for her hair originally, so I want to make sure that I don't make the final piece make her hair look too clean, because it's, again, it's a shapeshifter creature with a human persona. Like, the hair is definitely messy on purpose, so I want to make sure that I don't make the hair look too clean and settled. I think I brought this up a little too high. Come down on the head a little bit more. And I think maybe all the hair is a little too high. That's maybe why it looks funny. So if I bring this down just a little so that I can bring this more up to the side of her head. There. I like that better. And then some shaggy hair over on this side. And a couple of little side rat tail things. And just have a couple little strands hanging off the sides of these. I think that's looking pretty good so far. Yeah. I really like how that's coming, I think. Cool. I'm gonna oh wait, I'm gonna do her ear and her little punk jewelry, and then I'm gonna zoom back out. She's just got some little metal bands here, and I think the top one does have some spikes on it, but I think I'm gonna leave them as just little silver bands, just because when I zoom out, I don't think, even if I did a really nice job of drawing some tiny little bands here, I don't think it would show up very well in the final piece, so I'm gonna just draw the little bands and then zoom back out. Ah, look at that, it's coming together so good. Alright, so let's start working on some of these clothing details now. We've got this thick, chunky collar she wears. And again, it's got some little like discs or something on it. They're like little metal plates. They're not like spikes or anything, so I don't want them to come up off the collar. You know what? Maybe I will cheat. Since these are just literally circles on the thing, maybe I'm gonna cheat and just use the circle tool. Oh right, my pen is huge. Turn the pen way down and then use the circle tool. There we go. And she's also got this top with some stitches. And these hand wraps. And I started with that side there, but I think I should draw the hand wraps first, because I think they're probably gonna come up on top of the other things in the frame, so I am gonna mark them first. And draw some little hand wraps, because she's got her hands and her arms in these leather bands. So she's also got this little pouch down here on her waistband that's on some little straps. And I'm gonna block that out just so that I know where I'm stopping for the stitches on this shirt. she's got one more little band that comes down a bit more. And then... Actually, I think I didn't bring these out to the side far enough for her hip. Because her hip kind of comes through here, so I think I need to bring these out a little further, like to here. There. And then her shirt does come down under the straps a bit, so we're gonna draw that. And put this other arm back here. Also doing the metal sign. Cool. And draw the rest of these little armband wraps. And I think after the stitches on her shirt, we'll be done with the line work. So she just has straight down the center, like a little bit of a stripe with some stitching to hold the sides together. And I'm not gonna worry too much about making all these look real nice, but I do want them to fit inside this little stitch line that we made. So I'm gonna just real careful erase some of these edges where it comes out a little bit further than I want. Okay, cool. And let's turn that line off. Ooh, I think it's looking really good. Let me sit here and drink my coffee and stare and think if I missed anything, but I do really like that. I think that is coming along and really looks like our character. Okay. So close to being done. I really like how this is coming out. I definitely am getting some finish line syndrome though from seeing it be so very close to done. But okay, it's fine. We're gonna color it anyway, and it's gonna come out great, and then it's gonna be done. Okay, so first off, for coloring, I need to turn the background back up and get that pink slice color for us to use. So put that back down, and a little spot of pink right here just so that we can pick from that. And let's see which pieces are actually going to be this pink. So she's got Her hair and her eyebrows are very pink red. But since our colors are all red shifted already anyway, I think I'm just gonna do just the straight pink from her slice as her hair, because then also her shirt, her little shirt dress piece is even slightly more red than her hair, so we're gonna shift that one red and just leave her hair and her eyebrows and all these other little pink details as just this pink. And I just am gonna put this down as a big flat base color for all of her hair pieces. And these little side tails. If somebody knows what that's called, go ahead and tell me. I think those are so cute when you have like the little dangly side hair pieces, but I have no idea what like the actual name for that is. I should look it up, but like I know people do that and put beads in them or like feathers and like little jewelry stuff. It's really cute what some people do with that. I like Nimona's too, even though they're just kind of there and they don't have like beads or anything. Like they do look really nice with her hairstyle. And the rest of her character, I think, fits well with kind of like the ruffled little punk cut with the rat tails, whatever they're actually called. And I also want to make sure I get her eyebrows in this color. And like I said before, I'm gonna do the orange kind of villainy glow for her eyes. So I don't want to put this pink in her eyes at all, even though like the default version of her persona does have like little tiny pink irises, but also they are really really small, and I really like there's a screen cap from the movie that I'm looking at where she's kind of doing like the metal pose that I've got her doing in the framing here, and her eyes are kind of like orange, like a bubbly fire color, and I think I'm gonna do that instead. So what else gets to be pink then? Is it anything else that gets to be this really bright pink, or just her hair? It might just be her hair. Oh yeah, also, I guess it's not. Yeah, no, I think it's just that. And then we will redshift this a little bit again, for her shirt, because like I said, she's got like a pink red shirt too, but it is a little bit more red than the rest of her, so we'll shift that a little bit more red, and maybe even a little more red than that. Yeah. And color in a big flat area for her shirt. And I want to make sure that I remember this down here is also part of her shirt. And color that in. It looks like below her shirt she's just got like some little metal greaves. Oh hey! we're just coloring. You haven't missed a whole lot. But, I was just talking about coloring, so I'm being kind of boring anyway. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave her shirt as this flat patch here, and then I was gonna say is her shorts are kind of just like metal greaves. They're not really like, they're just like little metal cuff things. They're not really shorts. So I think I will probably just color those in silver, like or color those in, sorry, a flat gray, and then to make them look silver, I will put some highlights and stuff on later. So I'm just gonna color this in like a really flat base gray and kind of line it up with the piece here a little bit. There. And then I'm also gonna come back to this piece I had before for her shirt and line that up a little better. It doesn't have to be flush exact with the piece side, because I don't think it's gonna stand out that much if it's not. Lots of my other ones I think aren't, but if it's just pretty close, I think it'll look fine. So we're gonna do that. And then also, I think I'm gonna use that same flat gray color for the metal pieces on her ear, because I'll probably do the same thing to make them look silver by just... Oops. By just, yeah, having some little gray bits there. Cool. And then also her collar. Her collar is also this flat metal gray, and that one shoulder cuff that you can see, I kind of decided that we couldn't see the other shoulder cuff and that it's hidden behind her a little bit. So I didn't draw it, but we will draw this other one. Okay, so that is looking very much like NIMONA. Let's see. What do I want to color next? Let's do these flat leather bands for her arms, because those are going to be just kind of beige. Just like flat leather color, and I'm gonna make them a little bit more red than they need to be just to fit with our colors a little bit better. And then color that in. And do the same thing for the other arm. And I'm just gonna color in all of these all as one big thing, and then I probably, when I go and do like highlights and shading and stuff, I'll come put some little shadows or a little bit of variation in between some of these so that it looks more like individual bands. And then there's just like a little... Excuse me. Thank you so much. I thought I was gonna sneeze. I yawned instead. And then I think probably we've got 2 big flat colors left. One for all the skin tone, and then one for her belt pieces, because those are all kind of the same color on her side there. I like your little crab emoji, that's cute. Oh, you know what? Maybe we have 3, because also her eyes. Because I said I wanted to do that orange color for her eyes. Okay, so let's pick... Again, I want to tone all of my colors a little bit more red, so even though she is kind of just, like, pale, and... I think I might even... Here, you know what? I'm gonna even take our pink color for the hair and just shift that a little bit more red and use that to pick the skin tone. And just do like a bright pink. I'm getting distracted. It is very windy outside and I can see all of the trees blowing outside my window. So let's see how that looks as a skin tone. Is that okay? That's maybe just a tad too pink. But I think if I shift it just a little bit more red. Yeah. And I think we're gonna let that be our skin tone. Even though it's still very pink, I think when I paint other stuff on it, it's not gonna matter because we have this really bright saturated pink and all of our other colors are shifted to reds anyway. So I think it's really only looking pink right now just because I don't have any shading or anything on it. And I'm gonna add this for all of the little skin bits. Excuse me, all of the little skin bits. That was what I was gonna say before my throat decided to not do that. Here, maybe I'll drink some water. And stare at my drawing for a second and make sure I haven't made any glaring mistakes. If you see one that I don't see, and I'm being dumb, go right ahead and tell me. Because, probably if I don't see it and you see it, I'm not gonna notice. You'll go, oh, that's so obvious. Of course they're gonna notice. And I won't. So... That's okay. If there's any, me too. So we'll all be a little bit dumb together if we miss something throughout the whole thing altogether. Hopefully that does not happen. I did get through quite a bit of the Candace stream with her name spelled incorrectly, but we won't remember that one. We'll pretend it didn't happen. Okay, so 2 more big colors, and I think for her belt stuff, it's just like a very dark gray, but also I'm gonna brighten it just a little, so... yeah. But just a little bit so that, we can see all of the line work and stuff, because in the animated thing, they use, I think, some cute little 3D models for the belt stuff, so it's pretty easy to tell that they're supposed to be looped on there, but also, I think if I made them really dark, it would just kind of look like a blob, because I'm doing a drawing and not a cute little 3D model. So I'm gonna leave them a little bit brighter than they are on her actual character design. And I think that that is gonna be okay. Excuse me, I'm gonna fix my headset because there's too much of my hair in my face, so. There we go. Much better. And then our last big flat color was gonna be this orange that we have for her flamey golden eyes. And I want them to be pretty bright, but also very saturated, so like, yeah. That looks good. And color in the background for that in her teeth. And I think even though movie Nimona has actually, nah, never mind. I said I was gonna leave all of her character details the way that she wanted them, so I'm gonna stick to that. We are though gonna remember that I said we were gonna give her some cute little e-girl sunburn stuff to go with her freckles. Cause she's kinda got that. So let's come in here and add that. And get our little smudge stick and smudge that in a bit. Oops, that's way too big. Turn the size of our smudge stick way the fuck down. Alright. And just blend out the edges a little bit. There. And now we have achieved our little sunburnt e-girl look. And I think she's also got a little bit on her forehead, not quite so much as on her cheeks and stuff, but I am gonna just kind of dab a little bit of sunburn right in the middle of her forehead where these other freckles are. And blend that out a little bit more than I did the other ones. And now I think it's too blended out. Just like that. There we go. Alright. Now we have to make decisions on what we are actually gonna work on. I really like her little fire eyes, so maybe I'm gonna do those first. She's got this orange color, but then she's also got like some kind of glowing ember stuff. Oh, am I not? Oh, I'm still on the smudge stick. That'll do it. I was like, why is my color not working? Anyway, there we go. And smudge that out a little bit. Again, I don't want anything on Nimona to look too edged or lined because she's got really soft features. And also the character is like computer animated, so there aren't a lot of lines and stuff, even though I've drawn a lot of lines and stuff. And I also want to give her eyes like a really small little white backlight on just the edge. And I'm still on the smudge stick. I should get a hotkey for those or something. There probably is a hotkey. I should learn how to use the drawing program that I use. That's the real thing I should have said. And I just want it on just the edge and a little highlight on the side. And then we're gonna add right in the center this orange color, shift it a little bit more red, and as Nimona would say, metal. I think that looks really good, actually. I really like that. So, and I'm gonna zoom back out and you're not gonna be able to see any of it because it's super tiny, but her eyes look great, just so you know. I think I'm gonna do her hair next, which means I gotta move this layer up on top of her hair and pick her hair color again. Oh, also, since I don't really need this reference color anymore, I'm gonna remove this layer that I had for her little pink spot so that it's not sitting over here when I gotta do her name. Cool. So I'm gonna take that hair color, shift it down for some shadow, and I shifted it a little bit too purple, I think. We're gonna try again. I want to shift it just a little bit blue to make it look like a pretty cool shadow, because I have some, I think, pretty warm highlights on some of my other characters, so I want to make sure that the shadow looks kind of ooh, what kind of ice cream? Oh wait, I'm not supposed to ask people ice cream flavors anymore. It can get me canceled. Ice cream's good though. Feel free to share with me your ice cream flavors if you want. I really like vanilla and strawberry ice cream, but I am definitely the butthole that leaves all the chocolate in the bin and doesn't eat any. That's me. I don't I don't know, something about like chocolate sweets usually I'm just not all that into. Vanilla is yummy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I've had some really nice chocolate that's just chocolate, and I've had some really nice chocolate sweets that excuse me, that people have made, but usually chocolate sweets that I buy, like ice cream or cake or whatever, is just usually not my thing. And it's not like I don't have a sweet tooth. Like, I am also the person that will eat the aerosol whipped cream, like, right out of the can. But I don't know. Just, like, chocolate just doesn't do it for me. And I think I'm gonna do just one layer of highlight, because again, I want her hair to look really shaggy, so I don't want to add too much, like, clean, smooth blending for that. So I'm gonna pick her hair color one more time and just make it pretty bright and do some little... Whoops, that is too gray. Some little shimmery highlights, and I'll probably put some little white dots in these. And here I come with those little white dots. Boop. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna pick this shadow color that I did for her hair and use that also to shade her eyebrows. Because like I said, they are kind of bushy, so I just want them to look a little less clean. I'm gonna add some little kind of rough shading on the bottom there, just to make them look a little more jagged. Probably won't do very much just because I did add some kind of thick lines for her eyebrows because they're thicker, but just to help a little bit with the idea that they're kind of rough. And then other than that, I really like the way her face came out. I think I don't want to mess with it very much more, so maybe I'm gonna go do all these shiny metal highlights now. Actually, maybe I'm gonna stretch for a second and drink some water and stare at the metal highlights. Water is good for you. Drink water, kids. Or not kids, because this is... There's no kids here. Kids are not supposed to be here. So, drink water, people. Water is good for everybody. Ice cream will do that to you. I'm usually pretty good with food, but I do always manage to get marker on my hands when I'm using markers. I, cannot seem to, Yep, water. Thumbs up for water. We all like water here. Water is good for you. But yeah, I'm gonna come do some of these shiny metal highlights. Actually, maybe I'm gonna do... Oh no. The little loading wheel... Okay, never mind. It went away. I thought Frida was gonna crash because my mouse had a loading wheel for a second. Scared me. Maybe I'll save my work real fast just in case it decides to crash later. And again, these are kind of like shiny little metal discs, so I'm trying to avoid shading them so they look like cones, but since they are shiny little metal discs and I'm doing a flat drawing, that means just doing lighter highlights, I think, and shadows, just like really, really light highlights and shadows, and keeping them away from the center so that they don't look like cones. I think that looks okay. And then I also do want to shade her actual necklace, which I'm gonna give kind of a generous shade under the chin here. And then also a little light shade on the bottom where it is supposed to kind of curl under.
Everywhere you look in this world, wherever there is light, there will always be shadows to be.
And even though I said I wanted this to be a heavy shade, I think it is just a little too thick, so I'm gonna trim that. And cool. And I'm gonna repick this light gray just so that I have it as a starting point to make that brighter. And I'm gonna add kind of just the same thing but in reverse for these little discs. And just a little bit of a shine right in the center of the necklace. I also am gonna use these same colors, I think, for all of the other little metal bits, so I'm going to pick them again. And her shoulder pad is kind of like a bunch of little plates, so I'm gonna do some kind of just rough little spots for the shades and the highlights on that, so it doesn't necessarily look as like one continuous sheet and just like a bunch of little plates. And I'm also gonna use those same colors for these little ear cups. Cool. I think she's really coming along. And, let's see, what else? Well, let's shade this big old shirt dress then. So I am going to once again turn the shadow just a tad more blue and a little bit down and add just some light shading in her center, because like I said before, she does have like a femme persona, so it's not like absent of curve, but they are kind of subtle, so I don't want to emphasize that too much. Just kind of a little gentle highlight on the bottom there. Or sorry, little gentle shadow on the bottom there is what I meant. And then I also want to add a little bit of shadow along this center line where she's got these stitches because they're going to be pulling the fabric together. And then also a little bit of shadow just underneath her belt. And I'm going to line that up so it matches with our shirt a little better. And I think because the stitches down the front of her shirt have like really bright white stitching, I'm gonna go in on top of the line work at the very end and add just like some little tiny white lines on top of the black lines I already have for that. But I want to be really careful with that, so I think I'm gonna wait and do that at the very end and be real careful about it. So for just a second, I'm gonna finish up some of these bigger pieces by adding, like I said before, a little bit of variation to these leather cuffs. A little bit of shade on the ones that are supposed to be a little bit more underneath. And again, I want this to be kind of variation, so I don't want to color, whoops, so I don't want to color all of them that way. I just want to color some of them. So I am undoing some of them because I have decided that they are too much. But I think that's probably about right for that one. And maybe like this. And I'm gonna pick that same beige, brown, tan color and brighten it up just a little bit and add some variation on the other side of the brown. And on some of these ones that are supposed to be higher up. And just clean up the edges a little bit where I bled into like the clothes or the outline. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm also gonna shade her little belt wrap things. So we'll turn that a little bit darker. And like I said, I made the belt wrap things a little bit brighter than they are anyway in the base color, so I'm gonna be pretty heavy-handed with this shading and just let the base color kind of act as a highlight for these. My pen nib is feeling a little lopsided. I may have actually used it enough throughout this project that I have to replace it after this. I got so many replacement nibs that came with this tablet pen, and then I have done almost all of my digital art on my iPad. Because I spent a long time waiting for somebody other than Apple to make a really nice like combination with Procreate and the other stuff, like the Apple Pencil that I like. And I think that the Apple Pencil is probably still the nicest stylus that I've used, and it probably works the nicest with Procreate and the Apple programs, which is kind of unfortunate because I would much rather buy like a really nice Huion little self-contained tablet or Wacom if I thought that it was a competitive device, but it just kind of isn't. So now I have an iPad, and I have been doing a lot of really great digital art that I like on there, but also it does mean that this little Huion tablet that I got for my computer has been neglected. And I'm staring now because oh yeah, I said that these greaves were metal. I keep saying greaves. Are greaves boots or are greaves pants? Am I gaslighting everybody into thinking greaves are pants? They're for legs, but it says shins, so probably not like little high shorts like she's got. Anyway, metal shorts then, I guess. But I did say they were metal, so let's go add some shiny little highlighting. And then I don't think I need these to stand out too much, so I'm not gonna do a bunch of highlighting, so just maybe like shine line on the side there. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I really like the way that that came out. Oh, right, I said I was gonna do, on top of the lines, some cute little stitching. So let's do that before I forget. And then I think we might be done coloring. And we're gonna ignore all the other little... Oh no. Okay. We're gonna ignore all the other little gross bits of the coloring that we can see all zoomed in, because we're gonna zoom back out and then it won't matter. But I do want these little tiny lines to look like the stitching that I already did. And I think I'm gonna make them even smaller than that. Oops. And then I'm gonna come just along the edge here. And line this up. think that looks not half bad even. That looks kind of like almost exactly what I wanted. Very cool. We love when stuff happens like that. I'm gonna zoom back out. Woo! I think it looks good. I think it's looking really good. And maybe even done? I will stare. I will stare at it for a second. But I think it is looking finished with the coloring. Maybe we'll have to write our name and be done with this months-long project. Ah. I think it is done. I can't see anything that I thought of that I missed, and she's looking very colored. Okay. I think she's done. I think she's done. I think we're done. Oh. It's so cool. Well, let's get our little name in here so we can turn the background up. Thank you. I think just about. We're gonna do our name and some cute little calligraphy stuff for that probably, and turn the background back up so we can see all the characters all together, but I think the coloring is done, and how cool is that? It's gonna be done here in a second. It's been so long. We've been working on this for so long. Okay, well, let's get this pink color in here, and I think I'm going to turn this line back up and draw like some kind of like graphic art, like street art, spray paint style lettering. As best as I can, just kind of like squished and big and exaggerated looking. Oops. And little spray paint smiley, and then I'm gonna use that as like a line to follow, and I'm gonna find some fun little spray brush that looks kind of like spray paint and just go over top of the side. There's like a little airbrush or something, isn't there? Is it this? Yes. Alright, I'm gonna turn that way down, because that is huge. Okay. Oops. And just kind of come airbrush white on top of the right side of this line. just because I'm a little worried about how much that's gonna stand out on the bright background, I'm going to add a little bit of a darker patch just behind it. It's kind of like a bubble. And I'm gonna use that same airbrush and just, yeah, I'm gonna take that layer and put it down behind her hair and stuff though, so that it isn't covering up so much. And then if it's still in some stuff, I'll just erase wherever it is. There. I think that looks great. I'm gonna erase this little bit where it did get kind of in her hair. Okay. Alrighty. Let's zoom out. We'll turn the background up. And get to check out our whole finished piece. There it is. Okay. And ta-da! I think it looks so good. I'm so happy with how all this came out. All the little characters look so nice next to each other. And I cannot believe I did actually manage to find a character for every single slice in this wheel that, I mean, doesn't suck for the prompt, because I did pick such a weird, complicated prompt. But now we have all our lovely villain and name only ladies, and Nimona. And thank you so much. I really like how it came out, and if you guys like how it came out too, feel free to, you know, leave a like or a follow or whatever, and go check it out on my social medias. It'll get posted probably Tuesday, because that'll be my next post day from now. And yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in, and that is the conclusion of our stream for today. I think if you want to go watch me do other pieces of this, I've got all of the other pieces backlogged up on my YouTube, and I have all of the little pieces individually as some little videos there that are shorter if you just want to see me draw. I've got all sorts of stuff for socials all linked together on my page here if you want to check me out somewhere else. And if you just want to come see me again, I will be here next week. So I will see whoever wants to show up next week. I will see whoever is watching this elsewhere, and have a lovely day. Bye, guys!